Greetings, assalamu alaikum, peace and blessings be upon those who follow guidance. Now, this is going to be a video response done by my camcorder. Just to make things a little bit more interesting, something I actually enjoy doing. So, Chrissy, my video response is against you. In regards to me, Pamuk7 gets busted. Now, Chrissy is an individual that maybe a couple of months ago, I pretty much refuted their arguments in the comment section. I like also debating in the comment section, which I find quite amusing. So Chrissy was really annoyed because I completely refuted her points, because she was basically heckling. I call her the Christian version of heckling people. She's more of the atheistic version of heckling people, and she is an atheist, and she was basically heckling my videos in the comment section, and I responded. I responded and refuted majority of her points, and she didn't like that. So just recently I realized she made a video against me called Pamuk7 gets busted, but we will find out who the double-faced hypocrite is and who is actually exposing themselves. So Chrissy, get ready. So let's start with her video. We will analyze it and we will discuss her points and her inconsistencies in her videos. So let's start with the first point. And before we start, she basically said I'm a radical person and I have radical views. And at the end of the video, you will see how radical this individual called Chrissy is in her statements against Muslims. So be patient and see the end result. So let's listen in what she says. Now remember folks, she's meant to represent the Australian way of life, because she criticized me and said I'm not representing the Australian way of life. Yet she was criticizing me that I can't have freedom of speech and I can't have my right to my opinion. She actually said, if you don't like Australia, then just leave this country. So what? Whenever we don't agree with the Australian life, does that mean we can't implement to try and change it? But the statement is, no, you must leave the country, get out. So where is the freedom of speech and where is the tolerance? You see no tolerance. You just see the venom and the hatred and the double standards of these people trying to promote liberation, trying to promote freedom of speech, freedom of expression. But whenever freedom of expression goes against atheistic ideology and secularism, then hey, you're a radical person, leave the country, get out. If you don't like it, just leave then. You see folks? So number one, that actually proves the hypocrisy from that standard point. So let's continue on with what Chrissy says in her video. Let's start. Did you guys notice that? Oh, let's take it back a little bit. Look what Chrissy has at the start of her video. She writes Pamuk7 gets busted, and look at that. She puts a Quran in front of the screen with a huge cross on it with a ban. Now, what does that tell you folks? This tells you that this individual Chrissy, who is meant to represent the Australian democratic system, is putting a ban on the Quran. You see that folks? So again, Chrissy, the condescending view she promotes that Australian way of life is freedom of speech, freedom of expression, yet she is clearly putting a ban on the Quran. You see that folks? So where is the freedom of expression, freedom of religion, when individuals like Chrissy are running around putting bans on the Quran? So you see the condescending view. Let's continue. Now, as you can see, she's put here, Pamuk is a radical Australian Muslim who makes videos against atheists, the Western way of life, the Australian way of life, and just about anything else that does not agree with his so-called religion. Well, this video is against me, right, Chrissy? Because you don't agree with my way, with my statements, and with my belief system, so you're doing exactly the same thing against me, which is quite interesting. And again, I'm not going against the Australian moral way, am I, Chrissy? I'm pretty sure that Australians do behave morally correct, but most of the things, majority of the things, need a fix-up. And that's where I come in. I come in to point out the statements, the wrong stuff that happens in our environment, and I try and correct them. So what is wrong with that? What is wrong with a Muslim coming in and chipping in his 2 cents, trying to correct the Australian way of life? What is wrong with that? Again, where is the freedom of expression? Where is the freedom of speech? I don't see it when you're criticizing and saying that I should leave this country, which we will expose a little bit later. Let's continue.
Now, the reason why I'm making this video is due to they're sent to me with 2 videos that are a bit disturbed, and that's why I'm back in the...
Okay, so basically, in one of my videos, I basically attacked atheism, and of course, you know, I spoke about the treatment of animals, and one of the reasons why animals are mistreated badly, I spoke about the majority of the countries that actually do bad things against animals are Western secular democratic societies. And it's interesting because I brought up majority of my points claiming that, hey, listen, I do agree that Muslim countries do have injustice against animals, but this has nothing to do with Sharia or Islamic system, because all of these Muslim countries, majority of them, have all been, propagated with Western democratic systems. Okay, it's been influenced by Western democratic systems, and the Muslim governments are run by democratic, secular, atheistic systems that don't constitute or don't collaborate with laws of the church, nor do they collaborate or integrate with the laws of Sharia, the Islamic jurisdiction. So there's a complete separation between church and the state. There's a complete separation between the state and the mosque and the state and Sharia, right? So we need to understand this. And it's interesting because in my video I claim that China, they actually used a fish, as you can see there, a fish, in one of their restaurants in Shanghai, where they ate fish alive. They basically ate fish alive while it was half cooked. And I criticized this. I basically criticized this and said, hey, look, this is from the fruits of atheism, since atheism does not have a moral conduct in how to deal with animals, you see? So this is exactly what I said. And she turned around and said, oh, but China is a country that is run on Buddhism, and it has religious beliefs such as Islam and Protestantism and Catholicism, etc., etc. But you see the condescending view. None of the laws of China constitute with these religious laws. They only constitute with communistic laws which existed in 1949, which it took over, right? And they implemented their laws, their atheistic laws. In 1945, the Communist Atheist Party was established in 1949 and has been in power ever since, eliminating religious laws in their country. That's why Shanghai restaurants cook fish legally for their customers, since there is no law against it. So this is again thanks to atheism, and of course nothing to do with religion or religious systems. Let's continue. You notice the next picture she put up? She said, bullfighting is mainly conducted in Spain. Most Spaniards and Romans are Catholics. Again, the Spanish system does not run on Christian law. Okay? Again, it runs on secular, democracy, and atheistic laws. It doesn't run on religious Catholic Roman Church laws. So again, you can't relate this to the religious systems. This only relates to secular, atheistic, godless ways. So again, where is the standard? I mean, you're not judging the state, the country by the laws. You're just judging them by making ridiculous remarks as if the Roman Church has anything to do with the laws of bullfighting. It is the Constitution that makes these laws and not the Roman Church. Again, folks, I put up these videos about animal cruelty to show that it is the atheistic regime, it is the atheistic system that has actually implemented the killings of these animals, since there is no laws against these things in majority of these countries. So whenever you see bullfighting take place, blame secular democratic laws. Don't blame religious laws, because again, religious laws have nothing to do with government. That is the whole idea of democracy, the whole idea of secular atheistic law systems. And of course, folks, it's interesting because we will see, and we will continue. She also said, let's continue with the video. She does the same thing. She says fox hunt is mainly conducted in England by aristocrats. England is mainly a Christian country. Again, she's ignoring the fact that even England does not run on the law of the church, but runs by the law of secular democratic systems. So none of these people riding on horseback chasing these rabbits or chasing these foxes that kill these animals inhumanely, they're not running by the law of the Bible, nor are they running on the law of Islam or the Quran, but they're running on the law of the British democratic system, secular system, that allows them to do this. Unless you want to show me one single law in the secular democratic system that says you can't hunt foxes. Can you show that, Chrissy? Huh? Chrissy, can you show that? I'm pretty sure you can't do that, which actually again exposes your hypocrisy. And of course, folks, isn't it interesting when a Muslim does a crime, a Christian does a crime, alright, he's straight away labeled as a Muslim or a Christian, but when an atheist does a crime, you don't know. It's hard to tell, because an atheist doesn't wear a badge. An atheist doesn't carry a name called atheism, does he? Right? Unless you're someone like Richard Dawkins, okay? But if you're a nobody, then no one knows what your faith is, so you're in stealth mode. So for example, when the Port Arthur massacre took place, right, and you know, Chrissy is probably familiar with the Port Arthur massacre. Chrissy, was he a Christian or a Muslim? Was he a Christian or a Muslim? No, he wasn't a Christian or a Muslim, was he? When he killed and massacred hundreds of people. Right, Chrissy? You see, folks, if it was a Muslim or a Christian, then it would have been promoted as a Muslim and a Christian. If his name was maybe Ahmed, or if his name was John Christian or something, But you see, the atheists, when they do a crime, they get away with it, and there's nothing against their own philosophy or ideology. No, their philosophy and ideology is not named, because again, an atheist can get away with it since he's in stealth mode, because you never know whether he's an atheist or not. So let's continue. Okay, let's stop here. This is an interesting one. She actually said she completely ignored the whole videos with the images of majority of the things done to animals by secular Western standards, but she just picks 2 or 3 points to show that these are from Muslim countries. And again, I don't disagree that some Muslim countries do injustice, such as Pakistan, when it comes to cockfighting, which is correct. Again, but these countries don't run on Islamic Sharia laws. They run on secular systems. I mean, Pakistan is well known for the democratic secular system and does not implement any sort of Sharia upon the people. Okay, so again, this results to secular atheistic regimes, which actually prove my point. And what Chrissy completely ignores is that cockfighting, okay, cockfighting actually originated from Rome and Greece. She completely ignored that cockfighting is famous in Thailand, in the Philippines, in Sabang, in Vietnam, in Brazil, in Peru, and in Mexico. And again, it originates from Rome and Greece, which again originates democratic way secular systems from Greece and Rome, which actually invented things such as cockfighting, okay, which then was passed on to some Muslims, and of course those Muslims adopted that because their secular system, which they adopted as well, supported that. You see, folks? Again, she completely ignored that Islam and all of the hadith literature that actually says that things such as animal torture is completely forbidden in Islam. You see, folks? So again, it is the atheistic secular way that promotes this sort of treatment of animals. Again, we see another point, exactly the same thing. Okay, now we're getting to ayhan Ali Hersi. This is an individual that promotes a lot of hate against Muslims. She claimed to be an ex-Muslim. And of course I made videos against Ayhan Hersi Ali as well. And you can see those videos if you subscribe to my videos. And they're on my list, they're on my channel list, exposing Ayhan Hersi Ali and her radical inconsistencies and bad statements against Islam. So let's continue. Let's see what Chrissy says objecting to my statements.
Atheistic regimes who are continually executing Christianity and no longer making the laws of the Bible part of the temple. That's what we're in a
Let's just continue.
Making the form of drugs is society all the...
Okay, so basically what happened was I started criticizing the the bad parts of the Australian life, such as prostitution, such as smoking, gambling, taking drugs. And it's interesting because Chrissy said, "Hey Sunshine, it's called freedom of choice. That's one of the best things about Australia." So it's interesting how she's saying that, hey Sunshine, this is one of the best things about Australia, that you have freedom of choice, yet at the start of the video she puts a big ban on my Quran. So you understand the hypocrisy. So when you speak against the Australian way of life, then you see the double standards of Chrissy saying, hey, that's the best thing about Australia, yet when she wants to say things such as, and let me show you this is what she said, and this is exactly what she said on my video, alright? It's called, of course, you know how that man in America wanted to ban the Quran and he wanted to burn the Quran? This is what Chrissy said. Get ready everyone for the shock. Chrissy. She says, burn the Quran, burn Allah, burn Muhammad, burn all the Muslims, and I can't say that word, you can see it. Effing burn you, she wants to burn me, and burn all religious books. Do you see that, folks? Do you see the hypocrisy right in front of you? And she commented, and the video link will be posted below this video, exposing Chrissy and her hypocritical statements. Remember what she said? It is the Australian way of life to have freedom of speech, to have freedom of choices, yet she is claiming burn the Quran, burn Allah, burn Muhammad, burn Muslims, and burn me. She wants to burn me. What a Hitler, right? She actually reminds me of Pauline Hanson. And burn all religious books. That goes for burn Christian books, burn Buddhist books, burn Hindu books, and burn Muslim books. So you see, folks, and this is my response. I said, thank you for exposing the atheist Nazi you are. Yes, when we can't beat them, let's burn them. So that's my comment directly below Chrissy's. So you see, folks, the atheists, you see the hypocrisy of these atheists. When they can't disprove Islam, they want to burn us. And at the same time, they claim, yes, it is freedom of choice. That's one of the best things about Australia. So how can I have the freedom of choice when you're telling me to burn the Quran, burn Allah, burn Muslims, and ban the Quran, and yet you have the nerve to say, Chrissy, it's called freedom of choice. That's one of the best things about Australia. So again, thank you for exposing your double-faced hypocrisy that you are. Now I'm going to run quickly through this video answering her statement about what I said about Ayhan hersi, which completely bothered her in regards to genital mutilation. Now, you notice, folks, in her video, and you can watch her video, where she completely took what I said out of context. She claimed that whoever insults Islam, then they should be mutilated through genital mutilation, which is completely ludicrous and false on her part. And I'll give you my reasons why I actually said that, and then you can make up your mind of who is actually speaking the truth. You see, Chrissy is no better than Ayhan hersi when it comes to twisting the words of Muslims. It's like you guys are so used to it, it just becomes your everyday art. And in my video response that I'm making right now, you will see everyone how ludicrous Chrissy is. Okay? Let me repeat why I actually said Ayhan hersi deserved genital mutilation. I said this in the context that Ayhan hersi deserved bad things happening to her due to the fact that one day she's going to be a very bad person. So what is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with wishing bad things happening to people who turn out to be really, really bad people? For example, you would hate things happening to good people, right? Vice versa. You will also hate bad things happening to, for example, very good people, such as, I don't know, who are some really good people that you like? Anyone that you like. If you like your own mother, okay, you would hate that something bad happens to her, right? And you will also wish good things to good people. Am I right in saying that? So for example, since you Islamophobes completely hate Osama bin Laden and say he must, what? Do you wish good things for Osama bin Laden? You would wish the worst for that man, right? So if I wish something bad against Ayhan hersi, it's because she's a bad person and she deserves it. Not that just because she goes against Islam, we're going to mutilate people. No, it has nothing to do with the context. Remember, when genital mutilation took place, she was a Muslim, and her father and her mother followed not Islamic principle, but cultural practices, which then resulted to bad situations and bad calamity upon Ayhan hersi. And I specifically said she deserves it because she ended up being a bad person anyway. If she was a good person, then I would say, hey, look, this is something bad, and I hope she can deal with her stresses and be patient. However, she turned out to be a very bad person, and that's why I wished and said, hey, well, she deserved what she deserved, because that's what bad people deserve. You see how much it makes sense when you put things in the proper context and you don't misquote people with their statements. So yes, I do wish bad things to bad people. I do wish bad things to my enemies. But I also wish that they turn in repentance, and I do wish that, hey, one day they accept the truth. And of course, Islam is a religion of tolerance and mercy. However, if this person is being stubborn, if they're being evil, if they want to continue in their animosity, then we wish them bad things in this world and in the hereafter. There is nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what your secular atheistic ideology preaches, that it wishes bad people upon bad things on Saddam Hussein, right? When they went out and said, oh, Saddam Hussein's got these weapons of mass destruction. Oh, come on, guys, let's wish bad things upon him. Let's hang the man. So they went and crucified the man. Again, where is the double standards? Where is the standards? This is double standards at its very best. So again, if I wish something bad against Ayhan hersi, and if I said she deserves what she got, then this isn't to say that Islam is a barbaric way of life, or that this has anything to do with Islam. This has something to do with my own opinion, and that's exactly what I wish to bad people. If something bad happened to her in the past, well, she deserved it because she turned out to be a very bad person. However, if she turned out to be a good person, I would say, hey, look, again, I hope she goes through patience, and I hope she can put whatever happened behind her and she continues a prosperous life. But since you turned out a bad person, then whatever bad calamity happened in the past, she deserved it. That's all I'm saying. So let's continue. You notice what she's saying now? She's saying, if you don't like this country, if you don't like it, then leave. So again, where is the tolerance, Chrissy? Where is the tolerance? If you don't like what I have to say, why are you asking me to leave the country? Why are you trying to execute me? Why are you trying to kill me? Why are you trying to ban my Quran? Why are you telling me to leave? Is this the tolerance? So whenever we speak against some of the bad things in Australia, you just tell us to leave the country. So thank you again for exposing your double-faced hypocrisy again. And then she tried to link the Australian terrorism or some Australian soldiers dying in Afghanistan to Iraq, and she actually tried to link this to me, which is quite interesting, right? And she said that I have radical ways, when in fact it is Chrissy who has radical ways, terrorist ways, to say burn the Quran, burn Allah, burn Muhammad, burn all Muslims, and effing burn you. She wants to burn me. So everyone can see who the actual terrorist is, and that says it all. Thank you for enjoying this video and listening to the responses. I hope you have a good day. And Chrissy, thank you for the videos, and thank you for the video responses. Goodbye and good day.